And remember, when we're asking for feedback, we're not just asking for feedback, or we're not just trying to get feedback solely about specific pieces of work. We're trying to get feedback about how our colleagues are experiencing us. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are well. If you are coming back, thank you so much for popping back over here. And if you are new, welcome. My name is Dionne, and here on this channel we talk about all things related to life, work, and the everyday. Today we're going to be talking a little bit along the work thread of what this channel is all about. And as I said, you'll recall the channel is about life, work, and the everyday. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you two things, or information on two things that can often be challenging for people in work. The first one is how or when to ask for help. And the second one is a key development strategy, which is feedback that you can use when you're trying to develop yourself in work. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have some notes here and I want to make sure that I don't leave anything out. So how or when do you ask for help? So I guess the answer is there's no right time to ask for help. You ask for help when you need help. That might seem a little strange, but truly that is when you need to ask for help. So what I would say is, don't be afraid to ask questions if you are new. And often asking for help is quite a challenge when you are new in an organization. So if you've just changed jobs or you've just got promoted or whatever, as long as you're new, you will find that perhaps asking for help is a bit of a challenge for you. And I would say that you just have to bite the bullet and go for it. If you need help, you have to ask for help. So don't be afraid to ask for help or to ask questions, especially if you're new. What you need to do is that before you ask for help though, you need to think about what you have done in order to inform the conversation that you're going to be having with the person that you're asking for help. So in effect, if you have a question about a problem that you have, something that you don't understand, you need to do a little bit of research first, so that when you come to the person that you're asking for help, you can say, okay, this is what I don't understand. I've read up about this. This is what I know already. And these are the points that I still don't understand. So by showing that you've put a little bit of work in, that you've tried to solve the problem yourself, it demonstrates that you have taken initiative and that you're willing to try and you're willing to go the extra mile. So when you get into this conversation now where you're going to ask for help, I find it often helpful for you to say to the person, okay, can we start this conversation on the premise that I don't have any idea about what is going on at all. So what you're trying to do is to get the person to approach the topic from as basic a level as possible, so you get the fundamentals. So you just say, could we just pretend that I don't know what it is you're talking about, or share it with me from the perspective of you telling somebody who is totally unaware of the subject what this thing is about. So it helps to give them it sets a precedent, basically. It sets a precedent and helps them to kind of understand at what level they want to go in with their explanation. Because if they think that you have, for example, a certain level of technical knowledge that you don't have, then that is going to be challenging when they're explaining the thing to you, because you already don't understand and you need some help. So it's better if they bring it down and come to it from a very fundamental level. So the next thing is that you're going to use your ins. If there's somebody that you have particularly gelled well with, or you already have built up a rapport with, if they're working in a similar area, or if they know somebody that knows somebody, ask that person. That person is your in. That person is somebody that you are comfortable to ask questions of. Use your ins. So whether it is another colleague or your manager, use your ins. So to recap, when you're asking for help, there's no right time to ask for help. If you need the help, you need to ask for the help. Ask the help of somebody that you probably have already built up a rapport with, or your manager, so use your ins. Also, do a little bit of research or try to solve the problem yourself beforehand. so that when you come to ask the question of the person, you can show a bit of initiative. You will be able to say, all right, this is what I understand so far, or this is what I think it means, and this is a little bit of digging that I've done to try to support me in learning this thing, but I still am not sure of certain things. And also, when you get to the conversation, ask the person to speak to the subject as though you have never heard anything about it. That way it sets a precedent for the level at which the conversation is to be pitched at, and it also helps you to compare what they're saying with what you think you know or what you think you understand, and then you'll be able to get a better idea of the knowledge gap. So the second thing we're going to talk about today is feedback, which is a key development strategy. If you are trying to progress, if you're trying to move ahead, if you're trying to do better at your job, feedback is really important. And feedback is not just between yourself and your manager. It's not just what your manager thinks of your work, but it's also what your peers think about you and your work and how you're getting along with them. So you can have peer-to-peer feedback, and you can have feedback from your manager. Now, feedback doesn't always have to happen in a structured environment either. It doesn't always have to be in your one-to-one. It could be a casual conversation, how do you think that went? You could also send an email, for example, to your peers to say, how do you think I worked on this piece of work? What do you think went well? What do you think didn't go so well over the reporting period, etc.? And remember, when we're asking for feedback, we're not just asking for feedback, or we're not just trying to get feedback solely about specific pieces of work. We're trying to get feedback about how our colleagues are experiencing us. Remember, we want to be engaging. We want to be supportive of our colleagues. We want to show them that we're willing to help out. We're wanting to show them that we are team players. These things are all very important, and it's good for you to know how your colleagues are experiencing you. So whether you are a manager or you are a managee or somebody that is being managed, feedback is really important. So as somebody that's being managed, you need to ask your manager for feedback. And if you are somebody that is managing people, you also need to ask the people that you're managing how it is that you are operating in that managerial role. These things are really important. So as a manager, if you are trying to get feedback from the people that you manage, here are a couple of questions that you could ask. So number one, do you feel supported in being able to execute your tasks? Number two, do you feel that your thoughts and ideas are valid or being valued? Number three, is there anything that I could improve or change in my leadership style? Now, as an example of this, I had a one-to-one with somebody that I managed recently, and I was able to say, I think that I have not been communicating with you enough, and sometimes it's even a matter of saying good morning every morning. Now, I work from home most of the time, and so our communications for the most part are virtual. And sometimes when you're not in a face-to-face environment in an office, you can miss people, people can get overlooked. And so in a situation like that, it's really important for you to try to use the tools that are available to you. So Teams, for example, to make sure that you keep the lines of communication open. Now, as a person that I managed is somebody that's really efficient, and she does not need very close management. And she really did not feel as though she was being unsupported. But from my side as a manager, I felt that I could do a bit more in terms of keeping in touch and making sure that this person felt seen and was valued and felt valued. So that's really important. So again, as a manager, the three things that you can ask: do you feel supported in being able to execute your tasks? Do you feel that your thoughts and ideas are being valued or have value? And three, is there anything that I could do to improve or change in my leadership style? Now, if you are the person that's being managed now, these are three questions that you can ask. I have been working on X. How do you think things are going? The second question you can ask is, are there any areas of improvement that you have identified that you think I need to pay attention to? That's the second question. And the third question, what do you think has gone well and what do you think hasn't gone so well? And to be honest, as somebody that has been on both sides of the fence, sometimes hearing the feedback can be hard to digest. But again, there are ways of delivering feedback. They often say that you should start with a positive, Sandwich that with something that might need some development and some improvement, and then you end on another positive. So that's a really great tip for you there as well if you are giving feedback. So what do you do now with the feedback that you have received? And this is where the developmental part really comes in. So things that you can do to support your development. Camera is over here. Things that you can do to develop your development. To support your development. So once you've got the feedback is going to help you to bridge any gaps that you have in terms of your development. It will let you know what it is that you need to work on, and it will let you know what it is that has gone really well. So you can use the feedback information that you have had perhaps now to inquire about doing some job shadowing. Maybe some skills have been identified that you still need to develop, and maybe job shadowing is an area that you can pursue in order to help you to develop those skills. Maybe it's also that it's been identified that another area of work may be of more interest to you, or you may be more suited to that area of work, and job shadowing is an opportunity for you to get an idea as to whether or not that is actually a good fit for you. Finding a mentor is another thing that feedback can also help you to ascertain that you need. A mentor is somebody that has been where you want to get to, and they can tell you how it is that they got there. So if the feedback throws up that, okay, you want to progress, you want to move ahead, you want to get promoted, you can find somebody that is at the grade level that you want to get to, that can give you the information about how it is that they were able to get there. Another thing that you can do to fill the skills gap identified by feedback is to volunteer for tasks, to register yourself on courses, and also, really importantly, you should document your progress about the roles and tasks that you have taken on as you develop, as you work through the things that the feedback has thrown up. Because when you get to the time now when you want to change roles, when you want to apply for a new job, when you want to get promoted, you really want to have documentation of all of these things that you have done to show that you can demonstrate your competence. So I hope this has been really helpful. Remember, ask for help if you need it. I know it can be very challenging. Ask for help when you need it. Give and receive feedback, and use the information that the feedback has presented you to fill any skills gap that you may have. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody. Please do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to tell a friend to come on over here and see what's happening on this channel. So until next time, this is Dionne. Do take care. See you then. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell a friend. Until next time, when we talk about life, work, and the everyday.